Welcome back to Winter Day 14 of the Stardew Valley Min-Max and 100% Perfection Guide. Last time, we had opened up Key's Golden Walnut Room for the first time and accepted the challenge of making it to floor 100 in an upgraded school cavern containing much tougher enemies. We will be taking on this challenge today, and I'll provide my tips and tricks and go over my strategy for reaching floor 100 without using 99 crafted staircases, and also farming a good amount of loot while still making it down the floors quickly. We woke up at the island farmhouse today and quickly organized our stuff and warped straight on over to the farm because we want to get over to Skull Cavern as quickly as possible. Although today is Harvey's birthday, so we will have to at least wait until 9 a.m. for his clinic to open. I do grab some jades from the crystallarium since those are ready, and they'll help us get some more staircases if we need from the desert trader, since today does happen to be Sunday, Staircase Sunday. And the letter I got in the mail was for the night market festival, which begins soon, and we'll probably go a few times. We'll need to catch all of the unique fish from that, but other than that, there's not much of a reason. The traveling merchant there, or one of the vendors there, will sell garlic seeds, which if I had remembered when I was playing at the time and bought those would have been nice to grow on the island farm for the Bombo Big Gourmand Frog quest, but I'm pretty sure I forget, so oh well, we'll have to wait just a couple more weeks for spring for that. Since Harvey's clinic does not open till 9 a.m., we do have a little bit of time for farm chores before we head out, but we will head out before 9 a.m. in order to get to the clinic then. And I am real quick looking at my friendships. It looks like we have 0 hearts with Harvey. He does hide in the clinic for quite a majority of the day, so it is a little bit more difficult to give him a gift. Hopefully he'll go to the island sometimes, because I feel like the island resort is a very nice place to give people gifts all at once. But of course, since today is his birthday, we'll go to the clinic when it opens and give him a gift. And while we wait, we will be cycling as much things as we can. I did grab some more milk and eggs to cycle in our machinery just to get those going, because there's no point in having the animal products just sit in the auto grabbers in there or in our chests. And of course, we'll keep cycling the coffee here because we do have quite a bit of coffee beans left. And then we'll be able to head out pretty soon. I am grabbing everything I'll need to bring with me for Skull Cavern. That includes the tools and some ores and some bombs and our rings and all of that good stuff. Some jades to trade for staircases and some crafted staircases as well. That will put us at over 100 staircases, but obviously we won't be using all of those. We'll be trying to use as few staircases as possible, but we might use some if there are some really annoying floors to skip. Anyway, we are heading over to the clinic now, and I do have some gift items on me as well for people other than Harvey. We do have to wait a hot second for the clinic to open here. I will pick up that quest right there and wait just a little bit longer until we can get in. Try to get to Harvey as fast as possible, who we do have a rabbit's foot for. The rabbit's foot is loved by every NPC except for Penny, so it is just as good as a coffee, which is the easiest loved gift for Harvey. But the rabbit's foot did have silver qualities, so there's a nice 10% bonus of friendship. So I do think it's worth it to use on him since we had 0 hearts with him. On our way up to the carpenter shop, I'll give Sebastian a gift, and then we'll head up. And you might be wondering, what are we doing in the carpenter shop? I'm just wasting more time here. But we do have quite a bit of money, over 500,000 G. Real quick, I am going to head up to Maru's room. We have a strawberry for her, and then head down to Robin and make a very questionable purchase. But before we make that purchase, we're actually going to make a very good purchase by buying a bunch of wood. If you recall from previous videos, pretty much every time we are trying to make kegs, we are low on wood and need more wood for them, so I am going to spend a bit of money on wood right now. It's only 10G. When year 2 comes around, it is going to be increased in price, so now is the best time to buy wood from Robin. And the year 2 price is not even just a small markup. It's 5 times the price for both wood and stone. Wood will cost us 50G and stone will cost us 100G for a single piece, which is a huge difference, so we'll probably try to avoid spending money on wood and stone in year 2. Anyways, we have pretty much 500,000 G, and we're going to spend that all at once here on a community upgrade, which is actually buying a house for Pam. I don't believe this is needed for perfection, but what it will unlock for us is another community upgrade, which will add some shortcuts around the map, which are kind of useful and might save us some time, so we might as well do it. We do have quite a bit of money, so we probably don't have to worry about that, but it could be a questionable purchase, but it just seemed not right to skip over it. I'd like to get all of the upgrades possible, so we might as well go for it. And anyways, we're at the desert now. We did drop off our wood in the mines chest, so we didn't have to travel all the way back to the farm, and then warped on over to the desert where we traded our jade for staircases and are now heading to the Skull Cavern mines, which will look a bit different once we get to the first floor, which we'll see right now. The map looks a little bit different. The slimes look the same, but there are some interesting new sphere enemies with glasses that shoot fireballs, and the serpents are long, so their hitboxes are much bigger, which makes them a bit more challenging. And of course, all of the enemies here are going to be dealing more damage and have a bit more health. We of course will be using the usual Skull Cavern strategies of ring swapping, and we also have an additional lucky ring right here, which I should combine with an iridium band probably, but I think I am a little bit hesitant on combining it because it is permanent, so I don't know exactly if I want to combine it with an iridium band or something else, but we'll get to decide that when I pick the run back up on winter day 20. Anyways, you will see me bombing a lot here, because I do want to collect as many resources as possible while we're here in Skull Cavern. We've actually not been at Skull Cavern since the first day of winter, surprisingly. We've been spending most of our time at Ginger Island and at the volcano. And another interesting strategy right here is we're about to take damage from a bomb, and you'll notice I did eat a crab cakes, which increases our defense by a little bit. And mainly the reason is just to restore health, but also since we're being blown up by a bomb, the additional defense will negate a little bit of more damage, and pretty soon I'll eat a spicy eel for the additional speed again, but the crab cakes also gives +1 luck, so it's not like I need to get back to the spicy eel right away. We're not really moving right now, so the movement speed won't help. We were just using some staircases because all of those floors were not very desirable. I should really eat the spicy eel a bit sooner because the speed is very helpful, but while we're not going crazy far, like we're just kind of slaying the mummies here and taking a little bit of damage, it's okay to have the additional defense. I probably should switch back to spicy eel speed soon. I'm not sure when I'm going to, but that's alright. Let's go ahead and slay these mummies here, blow them up with a bomb, because the mummies do drop some good resources, and of course when we combine with the bombs will blow up some stones as well, and uncover the staircases down. And you'll see we got lucky here with the staircase from a bomb right away, and this floor is a big floor, so I will skip over it. And then this floor, the star floor, is my favorite floor, so of course we'll use a bomb on it. I'm about to use the energy tonic because I'm low on health, but then I realize I am still on the crab cake buff, so I will finally eat that spicy eel to restore some health while giving the more desirable +1 speed back. And we will try to slay some of these mummies first so that the bomb can be a 2-for-1 from slaying the mummies and blowing up the rocks at the same time. We will move out of the way of the bomb to avoid taking damage from it, and often I will let the bombs just blow up right by me and take damage from it, because we do have a lot of healing items, so we don't really have to worry about losing health. But when we can avoid it, like we could there, it is worth it to avoid it to save some healing item resources. We make it to a treasure floor and I get a seed maker, not too great, but then we are met with another star floor with even more mummies this time. So we'll see how many mummies we can blow up at once. I will try to use the smash strategy where I smash the hammer using the special ability button and then using the default attack button and just spam it to get maximum damage output. I will go off to the side again and regain some health because we do need to be careful about that. Some of the enemies here deal a lot of damage. All of them deal more damage than they usually do, but especially these mummies can deal quite a bit of damage, so I do want to be at full health most of the time. So we did blow up a whole bunch of mummies once there, and of course got a staircase from it, and are down to another floor with even more mummies. I'm not sure if this is just my luck or whatever, but it really seems like with the upgraded Skull Cavern, there's a whole lot more floors that have mummies on them than usual, but it could just be completely random, I'm not sure. Anyways, we haven't gotten a staircase here yet. There are some more mummies, so I'll go ahead and slay them. And the mummies, with having the extra speed on the hammer, is pretty nice. It lets us slay these mummies very quickly, but you'll see very shortly here that with the ghosts, when I attack them, they get knocked back so far, and the speed really doesn't do anything because I'll swing, but then if I swing again, they'll be gone. So the speed really doesn't do anything, and this is where having extra damage on the hammer would come in handy. But having the smash attack and spamming it can sometimes slay the ghosts in one hit if you get it right and time it right. But often they'll be knocked back and have to wait for them to come back. But most of the time I'll just completely ignore the ghosts anyway. And similarly with the serpents here, they don't really get knocked back a whole lot, but sometimes they'll just change directions and go in a different direction away from you, so the speed doesn't help with them as much either. And then we've got the slime here, where you can just see how fast that one went down, and then with additional speed, having the baby slimes propped up against the wall there, they just go down very quickly. We have now encountered another new part of the upgraded Skull Cavern, which is Radioactive Ore. This ore can be smelted into bars just like all of the other ores, and the radioactive bars are used in quite a bit of the key unlockables from the Golden Walnut Room and some of the recipes we can get there, so it is good to stockpile as much of this as we can. We skipped over some of those floors with staircases as they were pretty undesirable, and I'd much rather use staircases now to skip over the undesirable floors than make it to very late in the day and be on floor 90 and have to use 10 at once, because the earlier floors here with less iridium are better to skip over now and get down deeper where we'll find more iridium than to just wait and try to grind out the floors here right now and make it down to like only floor 90 and then have to skip over a bunch of floors then to get to floor 100 last minute and potentially miss out on some highly lucrative floors. We're still on this floor right here since there was quite a bit of enemies and I am taking the time to damage them, so I might as well finish them off and slay them and get the loot. We are pretty full on our inventory here, so I will have to throw some things away and make room for the more desirable things. And then we can get down to this floor right here, which is obviously a skippable floor. Any floors where you can like barely see the majority of the floor, I believe are good to skip. I will go down a little bit just to the part where you can see more horizontally of the floor and see if there is a staircase waiting for me, and if not, as you can see there, I went ahead and skipped over it. Then on this floor, we'll make quick work of the slimes with our hammer and have to manage our inventory here. Of course, if we have food items, I don't want to throw those out. I'd rather eat them and restore a little bit of health, even if it's something like the algae and restores just a little bit of health. I think it's more worth it than throwing it out. And we'll be continuing down with pretty much the same strategies we have been using. It would be nice to find some more radioactive ore, although the radioactive ore is pretty rare. It can be found pretty low in the mine, starting on floor 1, and I think on floor 1 it is actually more frequently found than iridium ore even, but iridium ore will be more frequently found a lot quicker the deeper you go in Skull Cavern, and radioactive ore just will slightly increase frequency as you go down. So once we get to like floor 50 or a bit deeper. I'm not sure exactly what floor, but some deeper floor we'll be finding iridium ore a whole lot more frequently, of course, as we normally do in Skull Cavern, but radioactive ore will still be found pretty infrequently, although still at a little bit higher rate than we would find it on floor 1 per se. I do believe the frequency of radioactive ore on each floor will be most affected by the daily luck, which stays the same for the whole day, of course. We did see at the start of the day, I didn't mention it, but we did have good humor luck. So not the best luck, not the super luck, but still pretty decent luck, so it should help a bit. And then luck buffs will also help, but not as much as the daily luck does. And of course that would be with the lucky ring and our spicy eel luck buff, so hopefully that'll help us a bit. And speaking of luck and the TV this morning, something I did forget to mention is today is Sunday and the Queen of Sauce recipe was available, and thankfully we did have the TV at the island farmhouse, or else I might have forgotten it. So we did in fact get the Queen of Sauce recipe, so we're all good there, don't have to worry about that. And we're moving down in Skull Cavern here, and you can see I did miss a radioactive ore in the bottom left of that screen previously for some reason, but we're just kind of skipping down here because some of these floors aren't desirable. There is a bunch of mummies here, so I'll go ahead and try to blow them all up at once. And I'll start fast forwarding the floors here since the run is not as exciting in the middle floor, since we've kind of already know what we're doing. We're kind of just collecting resources and getting down as fast as we can. The first few floors are a little bit more exciting since there's a lot of new stuff to discover here with the upgraded Skull Cavern. And then of course when we're very deep in the Skull Cavern, there will be lots of enemies and lots of resources to collect, so that'll be much more exciting. But for now, we're just going to keep getting as deep as we can using the crafted staircases when we need to. And this floor right here is probably a good one to use a staircase on, but often I do find a staircase already has appeared on the floor, but unfortunately I get unlucky and there's not. But since we've already spent some time on this floor, I might as well play it out and use a bomb on some of the rocks here. And we did get a staircase from an enemy there, so that's nice. And right here, we should be able to get a staircase from a bomb here. Unfortunately, it does seem like we're not having great luck with getting ladders down, or holes for that matter. I think we've only gotten a couple holes, but we will keep heading down and using staircases when needed, like here, and of course on a dinosaur floor. And that'll bring us to a floor where we're met with 4 serpents at once. So what's nice is healing up like that does pause time, just like pausing an inventory does. And the smash attack with the spam click does make pretty quick work of the serpents. Of course, they have a lot of health, so we do have to do it multiple times, but if we time it nicely, they do go down quickly. And of course, with the napalm ring, we can blow up some ores at the same time, which is always nice. And it looks like we have a secret note here, so we'll go ahead and see what this one is. It's a mermaid show puzzle, and what is funny is we did complete the island mermaid puzzle, which is based off of the mermaid song from the night market festival puzzle, which we can complete using that note or just knowing it from prior knowledge or the wiki. But anyway, that rewards us with just a pearl, but we'll still do it because why not during the night festival market. And this floor right here, of course I love the star floors, but more importantly there is a radioactive node on it, so that's very nice. We'll go ahead and use this energy tonic since we are very low on health, so we got to make sure that stays up. And I should be more careful with my health because I do believe at that percentage when we're like under a fourth or something like that, we probably could get one-shotted by the mummies. The mummies here do a good amount of damage. And on this floor right here, we're met with some more serpents, and we'll be multitasking by bombing and mining and dealing with other enemies at the same time, since there is always that window of time from when you hit a serpent and they get knocked back a whole bunch. You can do some other things rather than waiting for the serpent to come back to you. And it looks like we do get our first prismatic shard of this run, although we really won't be needing prismatic shards for anything anymore. We'll just need 3 a week for the weekly magic rock candy we can purchase from the desert trader for 3 prismatic shards every Thursday. but that's really about it. And I didn't bother using a magic rock candy today since we did get a pretty late start here. It was around 9:30 or 10, somewhere between that a.m. when we started here at Skull Cavern. We'll still be able to make it to floor 100 since we are using staircases generously on undesirable floors, and we'll definitely save the magic rock candy for a time we can get started right away at Skull Cavern and a super luck day, and we'll use 2 in one day for the best results. We've made it to yet another star floor. I am getting very lucky with the star floors. These are my favorite floors, and we get lots of mummies on them that we can slay all at once and then blow them up all at once. And look at that, look at all of that loot we get. We do get a curiosity lure, which probably isn't too useful for us, but I guess I'll hold on to it for now at least. And it looks like we'll get rid of the rabbit's foot because it's a regular quality rabbit's foot, which isn't really useful because I'd much rather give NPCs a other loved gift of theirs that is much cheaper than a rabbit's foot. But I do think the rabbit's feet, when they are in quality, and of course quality rabbit's feet can only come from the coop, the rabbits in the coop, and those are nice for NPCs that have gifts that are loved that do not have quality, since rabbit's feet can have quality and therefore serve as a better loved gift for them. But anyways, we're continuing down and we're starting to pick up the pace a little bit here, getting staircases a little bit more frequently, like right there. And I will still use a bomb here since there's an iridium node, so I'd like to blow that up. And then right here, it's a very small floor. Even though it doesn't have a whole lot of rocks, there's a good chance a staircase will spawn since there isn't a whole lot of nodes to check. And we do get 2 holes. It always seems like when we get a hole, we get another one, so it's not very useful to get more, but oh well. At least we got 6 levels from it, which is a little bit better than usual. It would be nice to get some 11 or 13 level holes going on, but that's okay. We're now on to another really good floor. I think this is another favorite floor of mine, and it just seems like these floors have quite a bit of nodes and often a lot of iridium nodes, but unfortunately here there are no iridium nodes. We'll go ahead and ignore the rest of these mummies here and just continue our way down to an undesirable floor, but we can blow up some rocks here, so let's see if we get lucky with a ladder, and we do, so that's nice. And this floor we're met with another surprise attack from 4 serpents at once. You can see there we deal quite a bit of damage with the smash and spam click strat. Right here I get a little bit too close to the ladder leading back up, and thankfully I catch myself and don't click leave the mine. That would be very unfortunate and probably call for a restart of the day. Well, it certainly would because we want to get to floor 100 today, but thankfully we don't do that. I will say I have made that mistake quite a few times, unfortunately, so do be careful when you're clicking near the ladder, because when you walk near it and get that message prompt and you're in the middle of fighting enemies or doing anything that calls for clicking, you might accidentally have your cursor on the leave mine, and since you're focused on swinging your weapon at the enemies and clicking, you might accidentally click the button, so just be wary of that and careful when fighting enemies near the ladder exit. Right here, I'm trying to line up the napalm ring explosion slay of the serpent with the rocks, but unfortunately it got knocked back. But the bat I was able to line up, and we did get lucky with a hole from it, so we'll go down right away and get 7 levels, so that's pretty nice. We'll speed up here on this floor. I will try to slay some mummies and bomb them with the rocks to try to get lucky, hopefully a hole, but most likely just a staircase, and unfortunately nothing from that, which is quite surprising. I am going to read this note to get out of my inventory real quick, which is just a note that gives some gift information, which is not too useful since we have the wiki, but it looks like here we get another secret note, so let's go ahead and read that right away, which will be secret note number 19, where if we start at that house location and then follow the directions, we'll end up at Mayor Lewis's house and behind his house where he keeps a golden statue of himself. So if we want, we can collect that, and once we get all the secret notes, we might just spend a little bit of time doing all of the extra secret notes that aren't really needed for perfection, but just for fun, since we will have quite a bit of extra time in year 2. so we might as well complete them and try to complete everything extra we can. One secret note I'd like to really get is secret note number 17, where it's an X marks the spot to dig up for a green strange doll, which we have not donated to the museum yet, so that's why I'd like it. And this secret note here refers to a necklace that Abigail borrowed from her mother that we can fish up from the water outside the spa and then return it to either one of them for some friendship points. Anyway, as we go down here, you will notice, as usual, I am spending quite a bit of time in my inventory managing it, ring swapping, healing up, and crafting bombs. And the main reason I do craft bombs one at a time rather than have a whole bunch stocked up and just use them is the fourth slot in my inventory that I keep right there is kind of the wildcard slot where I just keep whatever in there. If there is an item that I don't currently have in my inventory that won't stack with anything, it'll go there and I can decide whether or not to replace it with a current item that I have or a slot that's already available, or to just trash it. And if it's something like a food item, I can just eat it right away. And of course, if I put the bombs there, it does save some space because I just craft the bombs with the materials I have and then use them right away. But anyway, taking a look at this floor right here, check out all of the iridium bats. And the iridium bats, of course, are pretty devastating sometimes with their damage and health, but they do have a very nice loot pool and can drop a variety of different items, so they are always nice to slay. And we do have to manage some of that loot with our inventory here. And I'll use that staircase, continue down, and get some iridium and radioactive nodes down here. We are getting a bit more frequent with the good nodes here, although we should be seeing a bit more iridium. I do wonder if the key challenge has any impact on iridium nodes or not, because it should seem like we should be getting a little bit more than we are, but we might just need to be a little bit deeper to get the really frequent iridium node spawns. And it is starting to get pretty late, 12:20 a.m., and we're at floor 94, so we are going to skip over some undesirable floors here, and that'll put us at floor 96, so we should be able to make it down, no problem. I will go ahead and slay some mummies and bomb the nodes on this floor since it is a star floor with quite a bit of nodes to blow up. Something I did forget to mention is with the upgraded skull cavern here, the enemies can drop some rare items we can normally buy from the key walnut room, like the pressure nozzle, which we did get one of, so that's nice. And we do get a secret note here, which is the wrong X marks the spot. Digging up this location will get us a yellow strange doll, which I do believe we already got, but that's okay. Another thing, along with the rare items that the enemies can drop, they can also have a chance at dropping key gems, and key gems I do believe can also appear in the slimes, like sometimes the pink cake is, where you can see it inside of them, and then it's a guaranteed drop. Anyways, we have almost reached our goal of floor 100, and we are getting pretty close to the end of this video. The next time, we will be doing some fishing to catch all of the fish unique in winter, and also head back to the golden walnut room once more to pick up a new key challenge since it will be the start of a new week. We also will visit the night market and take the underwater fishing tour to catch all the unique fish caught there. If you are looking forward to what is to come and future videos, please consider subscribing so you can be sure to see them when they come out. We've uncovered a ladder to reach floor 99 here, the final floor before floor 100, which is a nice star floor, so we will bomb that, even though there is a ladder in the bottom left, but we'll go ahead and get the loot from this floor first. Then we can head down to that ladder, making it to floor 100, where we are met with a cutscene, which is a little bit confusing. This is not a cutscene for the key challenge. This is actually a cutscene for the secret note that says make it down to floor 100, something is waiting for you, and we'll get the iridium milk here from Mr. Key, which will permanently increase our maximum health. So that's very nice. Anyway, for the rest of the day, we will be continuing down Skull Cavern for the rest of the day, passing out here in the cavern, and that'll bring us to the end of this day and the end of this video. very soon, we will be reaching Winter Day 20, which is the point I have recorded the run up until, so I do plan to start streaming new gameplay footage, so for whoever would like to see the real-time gameplay and thinking and process that goes into the run, consider checking out the stream, which I plan to try for the first time on YouTube Live on Sunday, May 15th at 6 p.m. CST. I will likely just try 1 or 2 in-game days at first for the first stream and keep it short just to mainly get a feel for streaming while playing. And if you are not interested in streaming, that is totally okay, and I will still edit and commentate the gameplay footage to make these videos as usual. Anyways, we are going to wrap up the day by continuing a little bit deeper in the Skull Cavern here, see if we can get any more resources and loot. We did get 1 pressure nozzle, which is kind of nice, just a little over 200 iridium ore, which isn't a whole bunch, and only 23 radioactive ore, which isn't a whole lot either. But we did complete the main goal of making it to floor 100 for Keys Challenge, which will award us with 40 key gems. Anyway, feel free to leave a comment with whatever you would like to say, and perhaps let me know if you have any tips and tricks for the upgraded version of Skull Cavern that you'd like to share. Maybe in the future I will try this challenge again, but without using a single crafted staircase, just for fun. As always, thank you for watching, and goodbye.